Bonjour Hi, my loves! I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing fine. So for today's podcast, as the first episode of 2025, I've decided to do a little PR predictions of everything pop culture, whether it's music, movies, TV shows, fashion, you name it. Everything that I kind of strongly believe may happen in 2025. So get yourself some snacks and please, let's get entertained. So the first category is in music. In 2025, I strongly believe that Mr. Justin Bieber will have a musical comeback. I feel like it is time. It is 2025? It is 10 years since his major breakout, well, I wouldn't say breakout album, because from the beginning, Justin Bieber was a breakout artist, but his album Purpose really established himself into other levels, like the album 1989 by Taylor Swift. And I feel like it's been 10 years since Justin has released this album, at least started like releasing the singles. I feel like it could make sense. And also, now that he is a father, I feel like he'll realize that the bills are getting quite expensive, so he will need to go back to work. That's my little theory. And if it happens in 2025, oh my god, I will be so freaking excited. Like, you have no idea. Another comeback that I do believe may happen in 2025 is Ellie Goulding's comeback, the queen of EDM music, pop music. Like, I strongly feel that she would at least have a big number one, or at least in the Billboard Hot 100 single. Like, I just feel it. And it's been a long time since the last time that I've heard Ellie Goulding on my radio, and I want that for her to be as successful as she was before. Another thing in the musical sphere that I believe will happen in 2025 is I strongly believe that Miss Gracie Abrams will be at Osheaga, which is a musical festival that is happening every summer in the month of August in Montreal, Canada. I just feel it in my veins. I'm like, last time she was there, it was in 2022, and I feel like it's not that far-fetched, so why not? Maybe this time will be the final right time where I can finally meet Miss Gracie Abrams, and I will literally lose my mind if that happens. The next thing that I think will happen in 2025, I don't know if you all noticed, but I feel like in the last years there has been a complete disappearance of the whole a pop singer featuring with a rap artist on a song. Like, that hasn't happened ever since the pandemic, I want to say. And I feel like not only would it have a resurgence in 2025 like this duo, I feel like Don Toliver will have a big song with a featuring with a main pop artist. I know that he did a couple songs previously with Justin Bieber, but I feel like Justin Bieber adapted his part of the song more into Don Toliver's genre of music, so I feel like that doesn't count. I feel like Don Toliver will have a rap verse into a main pop song made by a pop artist. I just feel it in my veins. Another thing that I believe will happen in 2025 is oddly specific, but I believe that Dua Lipa will get a bob, and her new era, she will kind of start teasing it by the end of 2025, and she will start by teasing it by having short hair, back in her short hair era, and have dark hair also, and it will be kind of inspired by Pulp Fiction, and it will be her most experimental album yet. I feel like it's not that far-fetched, knowing that commercially her latest album Radical Optimism didn't do as well as she may have expected, unfortunately. And honestly, this album, you need to re-listen to it at least 3 times, because me too, at first I was quite disappointed, but once I listened to this album by the 3rd time, I was like, oh my god, something clicked and I finally understood radical optimism. And it's such a feel-good album where you could just put it on. You don't have to like worry about anything. You can dance to it. You can like put it on while cleaning your room, while cooking, you name it. It's the perfect feel-good album. And I feel like, unfortunately, this album was widely mistreated. And I feel like because of that, Dua Lipa will even more get out of her comfort zone in her next era. Like, remember when she was widely criticized because of her dance moves, and 2 years later Dua Lipa came back with Future Nostalgia and an album where she showcased how much of a good dancer she became. So I feel like Dua Lipa isn't afraid of criticism, and she takes notes and she makes sure that she'll get better into that thing that she was lacking off before. And I feel like that will happen in 2025 for Miss Dua Lipa, and I am so excited for her because I've been a Dua Lipa stan ever since Blow Your Mind. It's not, I'm alive and $1 guaranteed I could blow your mind. Mwah. Like, oh, iconic. My next thing that I believe that will happen in 2025 is Reputation TV. I feel like that's kind of like obvious. Like, please, Miss Taylor Swift, like, release Reputation TV. It's my favorite album of hers, and the fact that she still hasn't released it, it just breaks my heart because I want to like respect her artwork and not listen to the stolen version of this album, but it gets pretty hard, I'm not gonna lie. And I think that not only she will release Reputation TV, I believe that she will rather have a song like a vault track with a feature with Sabrina Carpenter, or she will totally surprise us and have a feature with Miss Olivia Rodrigo. But I feel like it's a little bit too far-fetched, but I don't know, I still believe. For also Reputation TV, because of all the hate train that Blake Lively has been receiving, and for those who don't know, Blake Lively is one of Taylor Swift's close friends, so I feel like Taylor Swift in her Reputation TV will include Blake Lively, whether it's in a music video that she will release for like a vault track song, or I feel like Blake Lively will direct a music video of Reputation TV, so Taylor Swift can kind of show her support towards one of her closest friends, Blake. I feel like it may be something that will happen. In 2025, I want Miss Sabrina Carpenter and Miss Olivia Rodrigo to have an interaction. I feel like asking for a feature on a song will be too much for me to ask, but I kind of wish that. But I feel like in 2025, maybe it's too soon for them and the fandoms, but I feel like I just want them to work it out on a remix, let's be honest. And the day that they will work it out on a remix, no joke, I think it will be so impactful to pop culture, and it will be like a #1 song like in the charts for like weeks. I am not even kidding. So I'm super excited for that to happen. The day that it will happen, because I believe that it will. But for now on, let's be realistic. I just want them to interact in 2025. Like maybe take a little picture together, like on a red carpet, or just see them talking to each other on a red carpet. Like, I don't know. I want that to happen. And in 2025, I don't know why, but I feel like Lady Gaga would drop her stage name and she would go by her first name, which is Stephanie. I don't know why. I feel like it will be something that she will do, maybe to kind of solidify how much more she wants to like be in the acting world, and that the music world is like behind her and she doesn't necessarily want to like have any comeback or anything. I don't know. I feel like she will drop her stage name and go by Stephanie, or at least her real full name. Like, I really do believe that will happen. The other category, it's everything that has to do with TV shows and movies. I feel like in 2025, there will be announcing a reboot of Scooby-Doo. I feel like it is time for a reboot of Scooby-Doo. The last time it was like during the 2000s. So I feel like it's not that far-fetched for me to say. I also think that it will be a little bit more popular to premiere at least the first few episodes of a new TV show in movie theaters. I feel like it will be a new trend when it comes to the movie theaters in general. I think that it can happen. Also, I believe it's quite random, but I had a flash of this actor the other day, and I feel like the actor Jordan Fisher will have his breakout moment, a little bit like Austin Butler had with Elvis. But I believe that in 2025, Jordan Fisher will have his breakout moment. In what project, I don't know, but I feel like it will be his year to be known in the mainstream. I also think that there will be a Leonardo DiCaprio biopic or documentary on him. I cannot explain to you why, I just feel it. I feel like mainly in the recent years, everyone has been talking about Leonardo DiCaprio and how Timothée Chalamet is the new DiCaprio and blah blah blah. So I feel like it's not that far-fetched to think that there will be like a biopic of him, a documentary, maybe a movie inspired by his life. I don't know. I feel like we will hear a lot about Leonardo DiCaprio in 2025. Another thing that I believe will happen in 2025, I don't know why, but I feel like there will be a sequel of the movie The Proposal with Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds. A sequel after like 15 years? Why not? But I feel like it's not that far-fetched. Whether a sequel or a reboot, or a movie inspired by The Proposal. I don't know. I feel like I will hear in 2025 people talk about The Proposal. And talking about Sandra Bullock, I strongly believe that she will star in a new big project in 2025. It's been years since the last time I've heard about Sandra Bullock, like in the mainstream. No joke, ever since Bird Box. I know that she did a movie with Channing Tatum, I think 2 years ago, like Lost City, something like that, but it wasn't that popular. Like, I didn't hear about that movie a lot, but I feel like in 2025 Sandra Bullock will have her comeback, as she should. I feel like in 2025 there would be a vampire renaissance, like movies made about vampires, the whole universe, a little bit like, remember the era of Twilight and Vampire Diaries? I feel like it's not that far-fetched for me to say, knowing that Nosferatu, the movie with Lily Rose Depp, is now in the theaters and like everyone is talking about this movie. And I'm so excited. I will go watch this movie. I believe that there will be a vampire renaissance into the cinema. I also believe that Jessica Alba will have a comeback, but I don't know if it will be necessarily in front of the camera. Maybe she will produce a big movie or be the director of a big movie. I don't know. I feel like Jessica Alba will have her moment in 2025 also in the acting world. And talking about actresses who have their comeback, I feel like Sofia Vergara is an actress that is often forgotten, and she's so fucking funny, charming, intelligent, of course beautiful, and I honestly want to see her succeed even more. Like, I want her to become a big household name, and I feel like in 2025 she will be back in our screens, and I honestly kind of want her to see her have her own talk show. I feel like she will be so fucking great. I remember like the times, I don't know if it was once or multiple times, that she went on Ellen back in the days, but she was so funny. And I know that she was the main actress in the TV show Griselda, but I feel like it didn't make a lot of noise in the American market, unfortunately. And I just want Sofia Vergara to be the it girl. And a month ago, when I was traveling Europe, I took the plane and I watched the movie Hot Pursuit with Sofia and Reese Witherspoon. And this movie was so funny, and Sofia again was hilarious and charming. Same for Reese, like, don't get me wrong, but like, it just made me realize how much we as a society are missing out in not seeing much more Sofia Vergara in our screens. Like, come on. Another thing that I think will happen, I feel like Iris Apatow, the sister of Maud Apatow. I don't know if I'm pronouncing correctly their last names, I'm sorry. And Maud played in Euphoria. I feel like Iris will have a little big screen moment. I know that she previously acted in other movies, but I feel like in 2025 we will hear more about Iris. It's not that far-fetched. She's best friend with Olivia Rodrigo. Her sister is Maud, who played in fucking Euphoria, but she's not like too much of a nepo baby in the sense of we don't see her like in projects and stuff, almost like Bella Hadid and Gigi Hadid. Like in the Hadid family, like people claim Gigi mainly to be a nepo baby and almost Bella to be like the black sheep, and I feel like the same thing is happening with Maud and Iris, and I feel like Iris it'll be her year. The last category is everything that I didn't have enough elements to make a whole category out of them, so it's a lot of different things from different spheres of pop culture. First thing, which is quite obvious, there will be a gladiator fashion in 2025, mainly because of the movie that just got released. Like, remember the big sandals that like got up into our knees? That will have a resurgence, but of course they'll get revamped. Or a little brown suede skirt could have a little moment in 2025. Like, I won't be surprised. Another thing fashion wise that I think will have a comeback is the Adidas bags. Remember, like back in the days, like everyone was wearing those bags in different colors and different patterns. Like every cool kids had those bags, and I feel like again they will have a resurgence. Another thing that it's quite specific, but I feel like LA, like the city in general, again, it's a big statement for me to say, but I feel like LA would definitely lose even more its hype, to the point where every influencer and content creator who will gain a large amount of followers won't even necessarily travel and stay in LA anymore, because it won't be the it city anymore. Again, I'm aware it's a big statement of mine, but I don't know why. I feel like LA is not like it used to be. And I'm saying that as someone who's never put my feet in LA. But I've heard from different like content creators that I'm following and influencers and YouTubers and you name it, that they felt that LA has lost its spark that it used to have, and they kind of want to move out from LA. Like they've had their time and they're kind of tired of the city. And I feel like it won't be that far-fetched for another new city to become the big hype city. Like, I don't know. The other thing, talking about influencers, I feel like maybe I'm saying that because I'm watching intensely The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But one day before going to sleep, I was watching this show and I was like, why haven't they made the same concept but adapted it to influencers? Like the real influencers of Los Angeles. Like, it could be so fucking iconic and entertaining. Like, what do you mean? I'm waiting for that to happen. Like, please. And the last PR prediction that I have for 2025, I feel like the model Iris Law, which is the daughter of Jude Law, which I had no idea that she was even existed into this world. And I've discovered her because after watching for the first time The Holiday, I was like, oh my god, now I understand people who are obsessed with Jude Law. And while doing my little researches, I saw that he has a daughter. I saw her Instagram and this girl is so fucking fashionable. No joke, I was jaw on the floor. The last time that I felt like that about someone, that I was so amazed by someone's style and fashion, was with Miss Bella Hadid. So I feel like it says a lot. And talking about models, there's this model. I've known her existence for a while because she is dating Thomas Doherty. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Her name is Yasmin Wijnaldum. Sorry if I pronounce her last name badly. But I see her pictures and I'm like, oh my god. Like, she's such a great model and her pictures are like endearing. Like, she is telling a story that I am hearing the story. Like, she is a breath of fresh air. I don't know what it is exactly about her, but like, I'm obsessed. Like, and I want her to be more mainstream famous. Like, can we do that? I feel like she deserves way more recognition and hype. And I feel like in 2025, it will be her year. Same for Iris Law. It will be her year. They will both become mainstream famous. And I want that for them. So that was my last PR prediction of 2025. I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope some of my prediction will become true. It will be so fucking cool if it does. Like, I'm excited on December 31st, 2025, like re-listening to this video and be like, oh my god, that was right. Oh, I was so wrong about that. Like, oh, I'm so excited. So on that note, I hope you have a beautiful night of sleep. I love you. Take care. Au revoir.